did. Throw it in there.
Okay. I thought I was going off the dome, man. Like,
You love our style. You not crazy.
Mess with your soul like ether. Teach you the king, you know you. Godson across the belly. I prove you lost already. Brace yourself for the main event. Y'all impatiently waiting. It's like an AIDS test. What's the result? Not positive. Who's the best? Pop, Nas, and Big. Ain't no best. East, West, North.
Good evening, and welcome. We are on episode 2 of the Conversations That Suit CTS podcast. As you can hear in the background, they are already into an active game. But tonight we're doing something a little different. We are not going straight into the music. We are actually coming in talking about hip hop and entrepreneurship. We have Ken, the realtor, the broker, the investor, the all-around money man. So tonight we're going to pick his brain and talk about real estate, entrepreneurship, how it ties into hip hop, and all of the great things we do. As you can see, we are at the Converse Space here in Sand Hill. We are right next to Jersey Mike's. So we are talking about entrepreneurs, business owners, LLCs, all the good stuff. I'm going to take you over so you can see everybody right now, and we're definitely going to get these questions started today. Ken, go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right, well, I'm Kinsley Mickle, work at EXP Realty, been in the business about 14 years. I've been investing over the past few years. I've been a licensed real estate instructor. I think I got that license last year. It's good.
Awesome. All right, you have a good set. Of course, you have a regular crew. You have me, Chris, aka the Deuce Space. Not Deuce Space. I don't want to be a Deuce Space. I just like being a Deuce. I like being me. You have the big joker back over in his corner. All right, and then you have the jack of all trades. I'm gonna let the guys introduce themselves, and then we're gonna jump right into the line of questions. Herc, go ahead and tell them who you are.
Herc, 803, Herc Ricks, Columbia, South Carolina. Just trying to do better in the community, entrepreneur. Promotions, marketing, community. That's pretty much it.
Much appreciated. All right, you go ahead and show us.
Steve, back again, jack of all trades. Interested in my man Kinsley to let us know tonight. Part of the Joe Foundation, ICR. Everything's coming full circle. We're gonna stay on CTS for tonight.
All right, so we have a slew of questions for Ken today. Who wants to go with the first round?
Personally, Ken, how do you incorporate music with your everyday life in real estate?
I'd say overall, man, just I got a couple of artists that influence my the way that I feel about the day. So sometimes getting the music going, I can get the blood flowing, I can get ready for the day, especially on Mondays.
And who's that on Monday?
You said what happens on Mondays?
Artists. Who's that on Monday? On a Monday, when you're ready to go sell me 10 houses.
It depends, man. I'm kind of old school in my area, so I like the TIs, the GEs.
It depends. If you said it make you wake up and sell 10 houses, you need that place. You don't make 10 houses money every day. I don't know about you, but I still got, I got a salary. You sell a house, you got a percentage.
You still play cards and talk about it. That's what you know. Gotta watch your ass, man.
No, I mean, like what gets you going, get you pumped? Because everybody needs that music to get them hyped. Even like an athlete, even like a teacher, a janitor, whoever it may be. You gotta have something that you listen to in the shower where you're trying to get pumped up. We want you to be more specific because we want to tie into hip hop and as well as your entrepreneurship. We want to intertwine both. So we need that motivation.
Just like I say, it's different. It depends upon what I'm going through. It's just the mindset. So sometimes it's the Jay-Z.
Like what's Jay-Z do it?
it's kind of it's different phases. So Jay-Z when he first came out, you know what I'm saying, it was a hungry Jay-Z. It was a Jay-Z when he realized he could take things to another level.
That's true.
He was sitting in the building. Right. Yeah. So it's different levels to it, you know.
Boy, plugging cars, trying to get your Jay-Z. Two cars, this what you're talking about.
That's what Hov does when he gets him 2 cars every time.
So when your day is rolling, and you're just getting out, you're going to sell a house, sound like you sell dope on the way to sell a house in your head, you listen to your music a little bit. What keeps you patient when you got some stuff that's going on that'll take you off the edge? Every day can't be an easy day in selling houses.
You got to move sometimes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, because it's different challenges, and you take on a lot of different aspects of people's lives. You know what I'm saying? So it's different people that's going through different things, and they walk into your world, and you got to try to help them figure those problems out.
But you don't work a regular 9 to 5. You don't punch anybody's clock. Your money is yours. So a lot of people are comfortable with entrepreneurship because with an entrepreneurship, you know that check's coming. In your situation, you don't know I mean, of course, you'll hustle, really, you got music going, but you don't know that every 2 weeks that check is coming. So how do you keep going and balancing and budgeting and maintaining without having to punch a clock with that guaranteed check?
It's a mindset. I mean, the biggest thing is you got to realize that if you don't get out there and do nothing, ain't nothing coming. You know what I'm saying? You got to look at your family, your kids, and everybody in their faces. You got a responsibility to them as well as yourself. You know, and there's other people that's looking at me, there's other people that influence me as just my peers, and I want to make them proud, you know.
That makes sense. You don't have the PTO option. You can't take a paid day off. Every time you take off, it's no money.
No money. And the biggest thing is, like I say, you got people that's dependent on you. You know, so every day you say, hey, I can't say I'm going to the beach. My man, he is 3 days away from closing. I got more responsibility to make sure that we deliver and to make sure that everything's seamless and easy.
He definitely postponed his trip when he got postponed on my second crib. Push Panama back a week.
Panama.
I'm from Main Street, man.
Her getting down to turn your cheek hurt that bad?
No. I'm saying when you from Main Street and you in the crib, you got a bottle, you got a deck of cards. A lot of you not. And I chose the cards. I was starving.
Perfect.
What? And how about I meant to throw this one? I threw out the
It ain't my deal. My thing is this, doing that, we have a history, like brothers, really like brothers.
Our brother, he's a duck on the backyard. He had a little Larry Johnson on the table.
I thought I was Larry Johnson. How you call me for yourself?
It's a big difference between somebody in 3rd grade and in 1st grade. Man. He took advantage.
No, he just telling you the age. I was 13, he was 11. I had a little Larry Johnson part. I put a little aluminum foil around too.
1, 2.
1, 2. That's what Larry Johnson did. Can't cut. But this is just us doing that, like brothers sitting up in the room and coming up with a plan. And we also formed a business and entity together at Blueprint Entertainment. And I just remember us doing well in the nightlife on word of mouth and really just blind for what we were doing. The gall that you had and our initiative was, I remember when you first came into the room, it was like, I'm not trying to do this stuff. And I remember somewhat during the time, probably a year or two prior with it, you were telling me how the transition was so easy because you had to go from getting people out to the nightlife to make the transition to people to a new life. Could you elaborate on that more if you could?
I would say it made it an easier transition because we had to get out of the hustle. So we had to figure out how to get in front of people, how to influence people to want to party with us.
Yeah.
So take the same hustle, the same grit from going to stick with flyers on people's cars 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning to stick with flyers to people's mailboxes You know,
Because you're your own marketing.
Your own market is hard. That's whole night. That whole night, rainy nights.
So that's the difference between doing your own marketing, because initially that means you have to put your own capital up. That's not your pocket because until money starts rolling in. How do you prepare for that? Prepare for investing in yourself and waiting for everything to come back in your way.
It's I hate saying it, but it's mindset. And with running a business, you got to start trying to know metrics. So you got to start knowing when you're profitable. Just because you made a sale don't mean you're profitable.
Right.
So you got to start looking at your expenses, looking to see if, and especially when you start leveraging and start trying to bring people to your world, it gets difficult. The rate of success in real estate is tough already. And I feel like that's probably one of the most spoken about things in our industry. They don't talk about the failure rate, but a lot of realtors, I say maybe 100% of realtors don't make it out of the first 2 years. Let alone, explore a long-term career. And it's because it's not exactly how it looks from house owners.
Yeah.
It is.
That's the difference. These people think real estate school is an easy, quick hustle. People think entrepreneurship is an easy, quick hustle. You jump out, you get it, you start having money, you start blowing money, you start living this money lifestyle, you can post with your money, and that's not reality. It's a lot of investment and a lot of time.
And the biggest thing is when you first start out, I remember the first time we rented a space, and it was on us paper. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I'm like, can't wait to tell everybody, we got an office. Mm-hmm. And then I realized that I was the janitor. Back in the floors, somebody stop on the toilet,
It's all on you.
It's all on you. And I mean, and then you realize that a lot of entrepreneurs, they give up 40 hours a week, work 60.
That's it.
That's it.
You give up a guaranteed easy 40 to go back and work 10 times as hard. For in the beginning, 20 times less.
But it's all yours. That's the whole thing. It's all yours. The ownership of it. And it's, to jump in again, I remember when I was going through my little project I was doing with the house, and I remember saying like, "Hey man, I thought I'd get down here and just paint this, just do this." And he was like, "Hey man, you learn the system.
Yep.
You learn the system. You learn this guy. You learn that guy." And I thought we were saving money by just painting ourselves, but we took more time. So when you just realize that you can paint, if you're not painting, you can just sit here and get somebody. So I had to learn how to micromanage within the last month to save money, because me trying to do it myself. And that's what I'm saying, going back to what you said, because the backfire, if you understand, if you don't get up to do it, it's gone. Some people, you take that literal, like sometimes you need to get the right person to get things done.
Yeah, the biggest thing is you got to put value in your time as the entrepreneur. You got to realize
Keep messing with the time.
you got to realize that you work.
So that's a good question. How do you price your time? A lot of people do not know. We all talk about know your worth and add text, but a lot of people truly don't know their worth. You don't know how to price your time.
I would say you got to, with initially starting out in business, you got to lay out a vision. You got to figure out who you want to be when you grow up. So when you figure out who you want to be, and then you start letting the numbers of the business and the income take you where you're trying to go. So the thing is, it's like if you say, okay, a lot of people start off and say, hey, I want to make $100,000. But then you realize to make $100,000, you're gonna get extremely busy. And then you say, man, ain't enough time, ain't enough hours in the day. And then you say, okay, I met a young lady that was working, and she was personable, she'd be perfect for my business. But if you haven't prepared for her and her salary, and how to train her, who's going to train her, who's going to get her knowing how you work, who gets her up to par to know how you take care of your customers. And that may be your secret sauce, your personal touch that you give your clients. Right. Now you're passing them on to somebody else. So you got to lay out a vision that people buy into, that allows you to expand. So somebody, when they come to your world, they know exactly where you're going. And you got to allow people to be leaders within your organization.
Okay, so being a leader, music, they have engineer, producer, the how do you delegate all of this? Like, if you selling me a house, God forbid, you get a call, your daughter's in the house, I gotta go. Herc, I need you to do this. How do you delegate that with selling somebody a house? Because you sold houses, patience with people. Like when I spend my money, $300,000, my patience ain't gonna be here.
Yeah.
It just ain't. So how do you delegate that to somebody else if you have something to do?
It's one of those things. It's trial and error. When you first start doing it, it can be tough. And the busier you get, the probably tougher it gets to maintain a high level of customer service. Because you can be Johnny on the spot when you got two people.
It's not successful. Yeah.
The more successful you get, now you start trying to juggle 5 different clients. And sometimes it starts to show up. That you juggle 5 different clients. Yeah. But that's why I say that's why you gotta let that vision first.
Right.
To say, hey, when I do, and that's why I started by saying you gotta figure out what you want to be when you grow up.
So is laying out that vision similar to a business plan, or you really need to know what you're trying to do before you go in before the business plan?
Yeah, it's a system. It's the numbers. So the business plan is what I refer to as the metrics.
Got it.
And I just went to a Tony Robbins event, and he called it the cockpit. And I thought that was interesting. He said, so when you jump into your cockpit, you got to know. So like in my world, I use real estate as an example. So when you jump in there, you got to know what's going on with the car. Right. The car is the business. So if you need to put gas in the car, the gas may be the leads that are coming in. So you got to check and see if the oil is running through the car. That may be your training and your skill. Just using examples. Yeah. And the thing is, it's like so the better trained, the better skills you are, the higher your conversion rates may be. Gotcha. So if you're not that good, you don't know how to help people solve their problems. If you need 10 people, you don't want to be able to help 5. But if you go and get trained, maybe 7. Adding those 2 additional people per month may add to an extra $20,000, $30,000 in a year. But the thing is, you got to bite it down. A lot of people look for that big number, and that's why they refer to it as the cockpit, because you're always kind of watching the scoreboard to see what's going on. Right. And so
There's a lot that goes into entrepreneurship that people don't give it credit for, and they don't understand, and they don't teach.
Mm-hmm.
They show you the glamour, they show you the wonderful side, they show you the houses and everything, but not the hustle that comes up. Me and these cards, please play cards like we talk. It's the system.
You gotta.
That's all right. Get quiet real fast.
I ain't quiet. Go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
No, you say. It is a system, but it's something that I always say people give you the destination, but they don't give you the road to travel. They tell you they've been married for 38 years, but they don't tell you what they went through to get there. Right. So you get in there looking for that 38-year destination, but you don't realize that you got to go to Decker, White Lane, Farrow Road, and the car won't break down 3 times. You got to take it back 1 time. It's a lot that goes through it. So what was some of your trials that you went through just trying to get where you went? Because when you sound now, I want to sit out because you can tell that they listen to T.I. And I listen to T.I. Now I'm what else?
I'm not exaggerating there, no.
I'm like these kids. You sell 10 houses a day, listen to T.I. I listen to T.I. My shit still got negative $2 in it. I got it. Talk to me.
How we gonna shine? How we gonna grind?
We gonna grind.
They ain't ready to see it. They gonna grind.
But yeah, I think I'm gonna answer twofold. So I'll say that coming into the business world, what I would do, anybody who wants to go into whatever industry it may be, find somebody that's done it. Find somebody that's doing it, somebody that's on a higher level, and don't approach them trying to make money. Approach them to learn. Because when you learn the craft, the money will come.
That's not very much that important. They did mention that at the beginning of the book. You have to go in there willing to do it for free to learn it and then make the money.
The one thing, again, I speak about the journey as far as real estate. If I could do it all over again, I would maybe join a team. I would work with somebody who's successful. And just like I said, not concentrate. Make sure that you're doing enough to where your bills pay, but not necessarily looking to make $100,000 in the first month.
So you cheat us now. So I want to turn this off because I honestly knew, like I want you to tell what your mantra is. And I thought that was so cool. About 8 years ago, you and I was talking, and you said, like my highlight ain't really coming from the damn check, bro. It's like I make good money, that's cool. But like the highlight is a smile. Yeah. I'm like, what? He's like, the highlight is a smile. Like seeing them change their life, change their credit score, change the way that they spend the money, and able to get their dream home, having like kids, cool. Is that your secret sauce to you being able to sustain this business? I mean, listening to T.I. on the way there, listening to T.I. after cashing the check. What's the secret? Because like you said, a lot of people get in, but a lot of people fall out. I see a lot of people post, and I like looking for 6 months later. It's something different. Yeah.
I think because some people come in with the wrong motivations. You know, some people say, okay, I want to get my hustle on and do this on the side. You know, and the thing is, you're dealing with somebody's livelihood. You know, when somebody's looking at change, you know, and the thing is, and even if you want to hustle and make some money, you got to be around some serious people that are serious about, you know, taking care of people. So you got to have a passion for what you do. You know, and that's what's gonna make you wake up in the morning. You know, sometimes you ain't always gonna be motivated, but if I know the person counting on me, I got a responsibility to show up.
Kirk, I feel like somebody, mama, you got a good class.
No. Speaking of glass, did Mario make that one?
He did.
Mario made that.
So definitely don't want to do it like
Mario probably made that damn movie. Everybody got the Mario.
That's all I'm doing, y'all.
I knew that Mario yesterday. You should turn the pay card.
Wait. I personally feel like you just deflected what I said. Yes, we went to majority 365 and got this stuff made. No, we didn't tell you about the church's money, but you put cook glasses.
Brutus and Judas. I'm just saying though, man. Like, I just saw the man yesterday. Never mentioned it.
Everybody mentioned it?
This guy here, he's modeling.
And he got a whole lot of things.
modeling.
Oh, give me your top. I don't already know T.I. your man. Give me your top 3 T.I. albums. And tell me about T.I. man. He pulled the shank on me one time. He pulled the shank on me one time. I told the DJ not to play T.I. When he gave me that crowd. We didn't need security. I was mad.
Man, I should have been.
Give me your top 3 though, man.
I would say, like you said, T.I. In the whole T.I. thing, I don't want to go too deep on it. But the thing is when he came out, he was talking about stuff that we could directly relate to.
At the time.
Always.
Yeah, it was one of those things where, and we could see the factual story in it.
So good.
There was a lot of people, you know,
Fabricate.
yeah.
What was that? Whispers?
Yeah.
Damn, no.
And whispers, you know.
Yeah.
And whispers is dope boys in the trap.
Don't wasn't trash.
See, I be every weekend, man. They probably paying.
That's when the dope boy, but I
That's
see
when
them
the
in there.
40-inch chains
I see
there.
them in there.
40-inch chain there.
Bet you had on your big clothes and all
I had
day.
my
That's your bag, boy, I'm telling you.
12 do-rags, 1 speedy cap. Some guys had the headband, the wristband, the ankle band, couldn't play ball and couldn't get in the club. They look goofy. You know that?
Yo, what's
You
these
see
boys
the
holding my car, man? Stop playing.
I got everybody. I'm gonna low.
But just like I said, I'd say probably Pop was my guy. You know what I'm saying? We talk all the time. Pop was my guy. Just because it was, I'm more of a realist, you know, so kind of really figuring out what's going on in the areas. And he was one of the people that kind of spoke to some of the things that I was seeing in the community we came within. T.I. the same.
You still, when last time you bought the T.I. album? I just want to see, when last time T.I. dropped the album yesterday, 2 weeks ago after that, before that. Everybody bought T.I. Yeah, bro, it's dropped now. It's a croak.
It's not a coach. Shut up. It's going that close.
I'm about to win 4 games in a row.
I knew he was gonna do that.
Man, this is crazy.
This fool said T.I. and Kroger.
What, bro?
Yeah.
That's fucking hard, man.
And Bubbles in Air Force Ones, T.I. and Kroger. I can't.
But I mean, this is like the best you got.
And I say,
It's 9, man.
I say, add it up.
I counted it.
I don't know what he did.
Woo!
You ain't got me, do you? Nah, he ain't got me.
Both of you boys holding each other's
I had
I
it.
told you.
I had it from the beginning, though. I ain't
I
gonna-
told you.
I can't feel if I won 3 games in a row. Like, it's like y'all disrespecting me. Like, I'm trying to teach y'all how to play the game. Y'all people understand you getting Jews.
I'm listening to
I say, man,
listen to my guest speaker over here, man. Shit, over here, listen to
Who
my guest
cares?
speaker. That's what I'm talking about over there. That's what I'm listening to.
Who cares?
About these goddamn cars.
but I said, man,
I gotta get the people, Mike.
I mean, get the man's life, man. Why you doing that? We gonna switch back to your secret sauce, man. That's one that I can attest to it. Because second career, I keep bringing this up, but Ken was my man. And the day they gave me my key, I think he was more excited than me. You know what I'm saying? He felt so good saying, because I thought, I was coming in looking station. He was holding in the back of his head like, look like his keys. He don't even know. So they dropped the keys on me as soon as they left. Man, we can't run around that like we was 2 kids in the candy store. But I could tell he wasn't worried about the commission check. He's like, man, that's gonna come to me. So, and that being your motivation to see the small, where's your patience level for you telling somebody like, yo, I need you to send me back two bills in your name so I can get this through to the lender, and they take 4 days to do it. How do you work that patience? You want to see the smile when they do it, but you fucking up to them. I'm like, you know what, man? Whether you smile or not, I'm not gonna get you that. So how do you deal with that part of it?
It's tough, man. It can be tough because I for a long time dealt with a lot of different situations, and I'm motivated to see these people kind of come up out of these situations. Right. They about to get evicted. And what I had to realize is some of these people had these problems before they showed up on my door because they used to keep me up at night. But I realized,
But that means your heart says that you care. You care about your people. So that's a big piece of it when you care about them. Because I heard you mention, so I saw somebody post as a real estate agent one time that it bothered them when you came to them to go look at a house and you weren't pre-approved, you said. But then I heard you just say, from their credit getting rebuilt to get into this process. So you're not jumping in with somebody who just got a pre-approved. You're starting from the beginning. We'll get your credit line. We're going to rebuild you. Did you come back with a bold?
Just tell everybody at home that the third time tonight, y'all don't tell the whole truth.
Drove in the rain.
I jogged. You saw the headlight. That was me locking the door in my truck.
I'll take care of them next week. We live, y'all. We live.
I would say,
your cut.
I would say, I think I started realizing that.
You want the
That's what the has me to everybody have care to whatever they bring out.
So if someone was buying a house right now or out in the market looking for a house right now and they weren't ready, what path would you give them? What tips are you giving to them to let them know what to do to get ready?
The biggest thing is I say, because over the years I would see somebody at Walmart and say, hey man, call you next year. I'm gonna call you next year, man. January I'll be ready. And then I see them next year after that, then February, they say, I'm calling you June. And what I realized, a lot of people, they're not prepared to face whatever they got to do in this situation.
That's right.
And that's one of the biggest parts of it. It's not to figure out is everything perfect, it's to figure out where you're at so we can design a plan to take you where you want to go.
So all plans are customized based on their person's situation.
Absolutely. And if they're going to do the work, it's going to happen. So that's the biggest thing. It's trying to true a lot of the things that, and I work really hard on my business partners. Because I want to make sure that they live enough and they both have similar standards.
How was it starting your business? Not just getting your real estate license, but actually starting the company.
It was. I would say it was tough from the standpoint because I didn't have a model, so there's a lot of trial and error. I know you can do it, man. I used to jump on the plane and fly somewhere, man. I didn't know what I was trying to learn. I was trying to learn something. Because back when I got
you go put my glass on the floor. That's your glass.
Back when I first got into the industry, that was when everything started going down.
I remember that. I remember one time I called him, what are you at? I'm about to get on the plane.
The plane, boy.
We want to get a car tonight. I gotta find out. $300 super.
Yeah.
That's something. Just randomly going out there to learn.
Yeah, I mean, because the thing was, I realized the first time I left Columbia, I realized the world's bigger than just Columbia.
Yes, Lord.
Word. So the thing is,
do me a favor, sit up again. Please.
With your chest out.
That's it.
But first time I left Columbia, I realized that the world was bigger than Columbia.
And where'd you go?
Anaheim, California.
You was over.
You could go to Orangeburg.
Right.
You just smart.
It's a Charleston. You get all right.
Jesus is
Man, I realized it was a personal office, man. I admire it, and I still do, to this day. But I thought that was the biggest thing in the world, and I started seeing people have different kinds of successes, and that's what opened your eyes.
What different successes did you see?
I'd say probably the top earner in the company that I was working with at the time. They may have sold 60 houses
In a year?
70 houses in a year.
Oh, wow.
And that's great. He had a great house, his
Great,
house,
a flip?
yeah, his house probably 10, 15 acres. So that was the top of the mountain.
Right.
And I showed up in Anaheim, California, trying to figure out how to get my foot in the door to work foreclosures. And the guy who was teaching the class, he had sold 500 houses that year, and the year went over yet.
500 houses a year?
That year.
Foreclosure.
Yeah.
So you thinking 60, 70 back in Columbia and shit, and you go over there 500.
Oh man. And the thing is, you got people that, and what I realized, it was people that wanted to share.
Yeah.
Because they wasn't threatened. They wasn't threatened by me.
Right.
Where some people they still trying to hold on to the little they got, But I realized you gotta come from abundance. You come from a place where you want to see other people give, and it's a long reciprocity. You give, you end up getting people feel like they want to give back to you, they understand what's truly there.
I told y'all this was my brother. Damn, go ahead. Now you speaking good, man. That's cool. And do me one favor.
I'll be one favor. Make sure you see the right.
Oh, you found a place. Oh, I didn't know no team.
So you definitely go at that 10.
Yeah, I'm good at the team, brother.
There you go.
I've been in front of the car in 30 minutes. No, listen. I'm gonna ask you a question. My eyes look when I saw the team. I said, right. I said, hold on. That's my brother. I called no 10 trick. I called him 8 trick too. Let me ask you about a miracle. Some people I don't want to know, because some people are still inquiring about to know. What's a miracle you perform? I'm speaking metaphorically, I'm saying, what's the lowest credit score you work with to make somebody get a smile on their face, to let them know, everybody out there know that certain credit scores, if you're in this range, you don't have to wait till next year. You don't have to wait till that February to June. What's a credit score that you work with that I know you had to work diligently on, and that person had to change their whole mindset and their paradigm, but give us that number.
It was a 400.
400.
And it was a family.
You closed in 400?
Wow.
Oh.
Okay. But the thing is, but I always tell people, man, don't spend the last 7 years of your life messing up your credit and then expect credit to get fixed too much.
Oh, so you can't pay $900 for credit for 30 days.
And then you can pay $1,000 and they think you're going to be racist.
Okay.
So just like I said, you got to do the work. Don't start without work. You got to put work in. But the thing is, if you have a plan, you know what to do. You know how credit is. So like, just as an example, we've always talked about credit history, just in general.
Mm-hmm.
So the understanding of credit, people feel like it's about history. And it is, with 35% of the credit score. I didn't know that.
Credit history is 35% of your credit score.
35%. So that means it's 65% of other factors of the credit score. One of the other bigger pieces of it is credit utilization.
Some of you niggas could today. We're just gonna be
Majority of the game is going to me.
Look at you doing that shady majority.
I said, he should have seen that hoodie. He should have seen the shirt. He should have seen that hat. Just at his house yesterday, man. That's all. I see the shoes. That's what
You put on your shady hat and they won't touch you. You was putting your feet on that one.
I just said, like I said, I just left the man house.
Ain't telling me nothing. They didn't laugh with you.
You know what I mean?
you talking about you see the pants? Yeah, you see the pants? I was gonna make this here.
You see the pants, that'll make you Earl. Turkey with mustard. So you saying with the how long did that process take to get that person in that house? What I mean, being honest and realistic, because they want to know.
It was about 10 months.
That's good.
That's not bad.
Not as good as somebody said I'm gonna call you next year.
People say it says 6 to 12 months to fix your credit. You're talking from 10 months from the time you started, you went from 400 to keys.
Oh, yeah.
That's a different beast.
Absolutely.
But they were willing to put forth the work.
And the thing was, they were diligent about doing the things. So like what I was saying, it's about credit usage as well. So I think credit usage is like 25 to 30% of school. So if you have a credit card and you got a $1,000 balance, if you have that on the higher end, so let's say $900, $1,000 balance, that's 90% usage. The sweet spot is somewhere around 30%.
Yeah, 30 below.
Yeah. So the thing is, if you pay that card down to $250, your credit score is more likely to go up. But the higher you get to the top end of your balance, it affects your credit score negative.
Right.
Those things like that you can start focusing on paying down some of the usages. And it's a lot of things that if they've been in your credit for a certain amount of time, you can get those things off. And it's a lot of errors that will keep your credit score. They may have messed up the name. They may have messed up a lot of different things, a lot of clerical different things. It's some of that stuff people get off. Address. Yeah. So the thing is like just having the knowledge and well-being to say, or somebody that's coming out to you. You know, I always tell people, man, try to, you ain't gotta be the smartest one in the class, but sit next to the people that.
Sit next to me.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I know everything about credit, but I got people that's smarter than me, and I utilize those folks.
So you cheated in school?
Absolutely.
You know, the rule is better to cheat than repeat.
I'm just like, no, because he like kind of incriminating me. He got like pointing me like you cheat on people. Like, I never cheated.
Are you sure you ain't letting cheat on my paper at all?
I cheat on everybody. I would teach you that. But a lot of people cheated on my paper. I wasn't really smart. I was clever to get close to the teacher. So, but yeah, I got a lot of people.
A lot of shakedowns going on.
A lot of shakedowns.
Hey man, and he ain't the only one that was shaking people down.
No, we got that. We stuff people down. It's on you, brother.
So y'all like this feeling great. That's a good name. You made it. You made it.
So with this thing going on, this hip hop, and everything is going to seem like social media or streaming. And like you said, we had to make the transformation and alter what we were doing from getting 5,000 flyers, us fighting over 2,500. Yeah. You remember that? This is just going to a button, just pushing the button. How has going shaking hands changed the game from social media to real estate? Do some people lean on that? Is that a lot of reasons? Is that more so of the reason why people tend to fade out of business because they come on social media solely and don't get out there and shake the hands of the proper people?
The biggest thing, man, I think is it's still a personal belief. You know, it's a lot of different companies and people out there that's trying to come up with different ways to reach the consumer. But you build trust by doing what we do. You know, having conversations. Personal.
So that's a good point, Herb. This generation, this world we in, this microwave world we in,
right.
No one wants to communicate face to face. Everything is an app. Everything is an ad. Everything is a share. Everything is online from your phone. So people don't have good old fashioned come in and talk to your conversations. Right. So for your success, do you contribute to your 10 house day? I'm on 10 house day.
10 house day show. 10 house show.
With your 10 house day, do you contribute that to online with social media, or they getting out there and shaking hands with the person in the grocery store?
I would say if you take care of people, you take care of people. You know, so you build trust and you establish yourself as somebody who really does the right reasons. You know, they will share their family, friends.
Word of mouth is powerful.
Absolutely. And the referral is the best one business you can get.
So you can have, which is something we need to emphasize a million times. If you're doing something like a podcast that we're doing, 1 million views is wonderful. But 1 million views, if you're a real estate person and don't nobody buy a house, don't mean nothing.
No.
And that's a big difference in business. Views are beautiful when you're looking for attention. But
We still want the views on y'all.
We still want the views.
We still want the views.
But it's just like likes on social media. You get 1,000, 800, 600 likes. There ain't a check coming in the mailbox.
Right,
So,
it's a lot of
shit
popular
gas.
people with no money.
But that's the thing with people who do entrepreneurship. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, just to say that this is what I'm starting. Nobody's saying this is what I'm going through. This is how I finish, whatever. So what I'm saying, when you're looking at somebody's page 3 months from now, it's good to hit that like button then, but the sustainability of them being in their field. That's why every now and again, social media is more than a tool. Sometimes you need to inbox somebody, hey, how you doing? Hey, I see what you got going on. Hey, I like that. I do this. And you can't be every place every moment. So that's what social media comes in to make up for what you have in your heart, but you can't get it physically. So if I can send you a message, say, hey, how you doing? I like what you're doing. What's your cash out? Even if it's $30, it's cool. So I just think that it's just being misled and underutilized.
It's misleading. Social media will give you, I can go right now and rent a house and make you think I got the best house, one of his 10 he told that day. But that doesn't mean that's what I did. That could be an Airbnb. You don't really know what you're seeing. It's an illusion. It's just like you can see a pizza on there and don't realize it's glued down.
It was
That's
better
what you
before
pull
that.
up.
It was better before that. It was better before that. I was joking.
It's all a virtual reality. It's an illusion. It's sold you on a dream. But what I do like that you said, no matter what that dream sells you online, how many likes that they got, a reality is if you don't put in the work, you don't get the money out of it. There's no such thing as just it's coming to you. You got up, you didn't get to go play at the club and have the night. You
Unless
go
your neighbor's
play.
quiet.
I don't want to be there, child. I do. I would love to be
Who's
there.
quiet?
I hope you do it.
Oh,
We need to go. Twice. I went twice.
But you know what? On the real, I was gonna say Blue Ivy. I never even had this thought, so I'm just speaking out loud. But one of the most important things she got, aside from being well off because she got a powerful mom and dad, but access to people.
Side note,
she got the network.
it's who you know.
She got the
So,
network.
side note, since we have a hip hop conversation, Clubhouse is very beautiful. Listen, did Jay-Z make Beyonce or did Beyonce make Jay-Z?
Hello.
No.
Did Beyonce make Jay-Z or did Jay-Z make Beyonce? Because we talked about marketing, we done talked about money, we done talked about hustle, we done talked about the work you gotta put in.
Entrepreneurship.
This is all entrepreneurship, and they are the entrepreneurs. Everybody want to be a power couple. Who made who?
I think it's not that clean cut. They meet each other. I think Beyonce is a powerful artist. I think what Jay-Z has made some steps in the business world probably made her.
I think you might be saying that because I'm a woman, but you gotta switch. I don't think that. No. I think it's comfortable. I mean, as long as they watch it.
I've never seen almost anybody have the type of strong father that she is.
She has a dynamic.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I hadn't heard the song yet, but I don't know.
You ain't seen nobody follow Beyonce like that.
It's, man.
But Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
But
Janet Jackson had it.
they had a follow. But Beyonce.
They had social media.
Beyonce got a
They have social
They have social media. It's a new world right
That's a
now.
new world right now. They got social media.
So I had an idea that I always said she is
Social media.
because she is the forefront. Until someone brought a new idea to my head. Before her husband, it was her daddy.
Yeah.
Her husband put her in the forefront because he is a marketing genius. I'm gonna piss this one off for a moment. Nas is definitely a better rapper than Jay-Z.
Yeah.
But
No. You said
Jay-Z.
that wrong. You should get the Nobel Peace Prize. What you just said. But carry on.
Jay-Z
It's
is
nice.
a better businessman
Yeah.
than Nas.
Yeah.
His marketing ability is crazy. So during the time where women were having their issues and we got this going on with this relationship and this kid and this going on, she came out and became the voice for us women. And the kicker with her becoming the voice was, nigga, they following you. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and just put you in the forefront. So now when you listen to his songs, he's pushing her out. She went crazy. I got the baddest one here. So everybody's like, well, listen, let me watch them. It's a marketing thing. If Hurricane see her running around here right now, and everybody's like, I like Hercules New York hat. I'm gonna sit there and let her talk all day long.
Not just hurt you, hurt rich. Damn hurt excel.
Go ahead, though. You was making a good point.
Go ahead. Heard it.
See how that just went? So everybody's like, look at her, say, go ahead. I'm gonna put them in the forefront, you know why? Because they like when they see that. But it makes sense because women, we roll behind her. That Lemonade album, and Forever Who Run the World, girls. We always gonna do it.
I mean, but James,
let me say this.
I hear you in the
I'm telling you this. I want you to close the gap for me. I remember when she first came out. You know, a lot of, you know, just some of the.
Are we talking solo Beyonce? Or we talking Destiny Child Beyonce?
We talking Destiny Child,
Because the solo was Jay-Z Crazy in Love.
That was Jay-Z.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what she said. It was a match in heaven. That's what she said. I don't think. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I feel like a lot of the messaging was kind of catered to the single ladies and those sites. And then,
but she doesn't sing all the single ladies, and she's sitting at home cuddling.
But can I say?
He said earlier.
Jay was pursuing Beyonce on Hey Poppy. Remember, he was like, we can go bowling. It ain't like before. I was young, getting money. He was trying to pursue her, but he understood her prestige. She gave him, she cleaned him up. He gave her that edge. He invited her to the hood. He said, he brought the hood. He brought Beyonce to the hood. Because we understood even with Destiny Child, there's something special about this girl. Jay isn't the fool, okay? Jay's nice. Jay's nice, but his business deals are like second to none. Besides a Puppy or Russell Simmons. And I don't know if I can say that because Jay told you 9-6, but he's going to be in 2000.
He told you.
Now, what I'm saying is,
kind of tell you who they was going to.
yeah, but not like Jay. Not like Jay. Jay told you. Jay, you laid out his business. I ain't mad at Jay. I'm not mad at Jay for nice. People think like I'm a hard critic. Jay is nice, but I know when something's been regurgitated. Something's been.
Oh, we know he's a swagger jacker.
Not even swagger jacker. Like he said stuff before from the court that I heard on the Reason Doubt. So like he just reworded. So my whole thing is like I'm not mad at that. He just packaged it right. It ain't. But the thing that let you forget about that is I got this gorgeous wife.
Yes.
That I can see it. But whenever I'm flopping, every album is married. Like, of course he's doing what he's supposed to do. I'm gonna get my wife in here. A lot of those are B fans. So when Jay said I'm the best rapper alive, like you got the best broad beside. You see what I'm saying? Like
it was a dynamic marketing moment.
It's a 50-50 deal.
You see her on the stage and she's rapping, and everybody's like, yeah, I didn't know Beyonce could rap. And he's like, she went crazy. You did it. But he wrote that though.
Yeah, that's nice.
He did it brilliant.
And Blue Ivy get published. Yes, he gets published.
Tell you, let's see Blue Ivy, baby. Let's see Blue Ivy.
The illest thing to me was when I found out that Jay-Z wrote Still D.R.E.
Yeah.
He wrote the hook. He wrote Snoop verse and Dre verse. He wrote all three verses in one night.
He's nice. Jay is nice. I don't say nothing away from him. He's nice.
He's Scoop Ice.
It's her stuff.
She's not a hostess like me.
She's not a hostess like you, my man.
I don't do what he does.
I don't do that.
Look at that. It's huge, right? You double dip. You have the proper ice energy. And you pour your pinky out.
Hey, man, you gotta be fancy with it. Touch the class up, baby. Touch the class.
Oh man, no.
I hate both of you.
Honestly, man, like we're not closing out. We just really have a conversation, but we really want you. Like I talked to you. We were just talking like CTS conversation with Sue is supposed to be a platform. We want people such as yourself who are in the Columbia area as well as surrounding areas. So we got things going on. Whether you're a mentor, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're an investor, whether you got trade, we just want to put you on a platform in front of an audience that understand. Like some people out there lost, some people out there not having clarity of exactly where to go, and some people are just reluctant to give a conversation as well as information. We wish to break that barrier down with a nice conversation, card game, and talk shit, tell lies about giving the truth. So that's what this is about. You know what I'm saying?
True lies and false facts.
And that's a t-shirt.
No. It better not be a damn t-shirt about a Jordan. No. I'm gonna tell Mario. So what he do? You text me twice. I sent the right voice note. Unless you got a hoodie.
So, boy, Ken, one last question. So we talked about selling houses, you know, entrepreneur and all that. So I know you sold houses and you've also flipped houses. What's that transition from where you got to sell a house that's already built, and then you buy when you got to fix yourself while still trying to sell motherfuckers house?
Yeah, that's another thing. You got to have a vision. I was speaking to somebody yesterday. We were in Chester, big time Chester. And, man, they had holes and everything. And, well, once you got the experience, because I think it was 2008 when I got in. So about 2010, 2011, I was looking something up for local. So I started getting acclimated to how they look, the ways and things the banks did. But it took me a few years to wrap my head around that, hey, I'm even be on the other side of it because I'm watching some of these investors get rich. You know, and it ain't overnight success. You know, none of it's overnight success. But the thing is some of that groundwork I did on the front end, being able to have to inspect those properties sometimes every week, every other week. You know, you see it, and I'm watching people renovate and make them beautify the properties. You know, and in the mix of making the communities better. You know, so the thing is you know, it may be certain communities that you know, if you got 5 foreclosures, all the values are going down. Right. You know, I might take one of those foreclosures, put some new carpet in, put new appliances in.
Do some landscape.
Find somebody to do some granite. You know, you may sell the properties for $10,000, $15,000, $30,000, you know, $40,000, whatever that margin may be. Right. You may be able to sell those properties for more, and then you help the whole community.
With that being said, and you talking about foreclosed homes and a lot of things came around here. We honestly see the inflation of wood and homes going around. It's a seller's market, but it's not a buyer's market. What's the time frame? Do you have a projected time frame of when that should turn around? When it's going to be a market that pretty much balances out, or do you see the market crashing before it get better?
The market usually works in cycles. So traditionally, I'd say it's usually up and down. It's every 7 years.
It's tax time.
Yeah. Well, I'd say overall, I'd say usually we ride a good market for about 7 years, then we start seeing dip. We've been riding this market for 12 years or so.
We have.
Right.
And that was about 08.
The 2008 crash.
Yeah, that's
2 years, 2 or so years after that, that's when he, yeah.
Man, I remember, man, I had never seen people buy houses at one time.
like you did during that time.
Oh, man, because it was nothing used to stay like that. You know, but the thing is, I appreciate those times that taught me how to hustle. You know, and I was a crazy person who had no mentor and no real guidance. I had a couple people I could call to help me write a contract, but nobody really teach me the structure, teach me the game. You know, so I was just in the office late nights and, you know, just trying to figure it out. You know, but I took a lot of that marketing and stuff that we did with Blueprint to try to make a name for myself. You know.
Kirk had a real good question, but he worded it wrong. When these $300,000 houses will go back to 170?
I said inflation. I said inflation.
The words in the chicken off that piece of paper.
I read that word 12 times in my damn truck. Spelled it backwards.
One time you did
Inflation. I said, inflation. It's inflation.
We had all that tea I taught, man. It rubbed off on the
Yeah. No. What you don't understand is I was an inborn toenail with being a spelling bee child 3 years in a row. 3 years like a bubble. If I would have got my toenail clipped the night before, she was the one.
Where do we find you?
Fucking Oakland.
Monticello Road.
But I say to answer the question, I think it's gonna be interesting this year because I think inflation is got the best of us.
It did.
So I think they're gonna adjust the interest rates. And we're gonna see what things go
Coming down or going up? Oof. Refinance.
I'm telling you, because the thing is if interest rates are different between the 2.5 and 5%.
Is this a refinancing stage if you got a plan?
Absolutely. And from what I'm
Would you suggest that people will snatch equity or refinance the house instead of a 30-year plan, I want to convert to a 15-year plan. It depends on the personal plan?
It depends on your personal goal.
Gotcha.
I mean, his homework this week. I'm so proud of you.
Like actually,
Let's talk to his brother. It's an easy conversation. I mean, cheating. Like, they be cheating all the time.
I knew majority of them. No, majority. See what you do, Mario.
I was gonna say, you cheat all the time.
My thing is people that bought, and let's say 2010. 2010 it was completely normal to have 6% interest, 7% interest rate. You know, and with 2020, 2021, those rates was 2 and 3s and all of those. I seen people refinance and save over $500 a month refinance.
But these houses prices need to drop if these interest rates go up.
I think I'm
You can't give me no 6% on a $300,000 house.
I agree, but I think he's an expert. I think it'll balance out. That's why I said if you got a plan and you're able to snatch $35,000 equity out, and you don't got $400 or $500 not off your plan. Only thing you gotta do is stick your stripper while you took the money out. You understand what I'm saying? But a lot of people take the money out to go get a car that's not building. They're taking a liability opposed to taking something away from something that is an asset. I don't mind. I don't care if you go out and get life insurance and pay it up in the next 2 years. The whole thing is it got to be conducive towards children. Exactly.
My biggest thing is like I had a family member, my sister. She went from a 30-year mortgage and like, well, I'm not gonna say the numbers, but she got a higher interest rate. She did a 15-year loan. She had been in our house for 12 years, but she went to a 15-year loan and still saved money and was able to put all of it. And that's
a lot of things right now.
Yeah. So it's a lot of good reasons to look at refinancing. From they say the figure we're gonna do a meeting, I think in March. So the rates may change then.
It can be the March. So pay attention.
Y'all heard that? March. They're gonna find out exactly how this refinances and interest rate.
Call Ken now.
Call your house. Don't wait the next year. Don't wait the next year. And then say you'll be here next June. When he can do it now. If you got a 350 credit score. If you got a 300, no, if you got a 350 back there. You can still get a house. It's on you.
Oh, yeah.
So
30 minutes later, watch you win.
We don't wrap this down without a 350 badge average. But before we go, aside from all the gems that you dropped about don't try to wait till it's perfect, go for it now. It may not take you 6 to 12 months. You can do it in 10, even if you started from the bottom. Down to put in the work because nothing comes from nothing. If you're not giving nothing, you won't get nothing. You cannot, Miss Panama, make sure he close on his house.
Hey, that's what you call customer service.
That's
Hey, look now.
I hear you. Majority of what hurts that
Majority of the time, you can be above the poverty line.
I really did it. You fix me a sandwich. Sandwich, bro. They got a hoodie. Sandwich?
Hey, I'm gonna get you a sandwich and a
Everybody.
anything else you would want to leave people with what they need to know? Or how can
Waiting on that.
Majority of the time he's playing a game. Anything else you want to tell them or how to reach out to you if they need anything? Kirk was supposed to mention about the brownstone. He ain't said nothing about
No,
it.
I'm going to talk about brownstone. Shout out to Mom Caldwell for providing us the space to have this podcast tonight. That's over at Brownstone.
Appreciate it.
Conference space.
He's doing roofing and all. Hit him up 803-600-7603 if you need anything remodeling. Also got the Grind Life t-shirts. Eau Claire, check in. We got the certified Shamrock shirts as well as.
You don't need majority. You got certified.
We need majority. We need majority of the people I know. What is that? So we got the Grind Life and Hertwick's conjunction shirts where we try to support and bring things back to the Dixonwood area. If you can also check in, we got majority. We don't give hoodies to me, but he's good.
Haters never prosper.
I'm not hating. I'm not hating. I'm just upset.
I'm gonna give you majority of the stuff from here on out.
Nah, majority of the time I have a conversation without your ass. That's
Let's go rest with the thinking they're going to buy you a sandwich. You feel better?
I think you're just good.
Damn. You both them.
What you got, man? What you got, bro?
Man, I just want to thank you. Like you said, he's dropping jewels left and right tonight. Definitely want to thank Conversation for letting us come in. Good time, man. Another good conversation. I learned a lot, even though I ain't buying shit no time soon. Hit him up though. Turn y'all. He's gonna put in the work. Like
I appreciate y'all for allowing me to opportunity, man. It was a lot of fun.
it was fun. I didn't want to put it out there. He's too much for the shit. I didn't want to like one like that all night.
And I don't want to make this about you, but I want to make this about y'all. If you could, you said he stole your house.
Right.
And I see you got a pool. I don't know. He didn't capture that. Hey, you tell them the sacrifices and the processes of kids. I don't want them to think that this is all stage. I want them to understand that. Because tell them you had a 250 credit score.
No. You can ask Kenny. My shit's been 750 and above ever since we
I
talked.
don't
You the majority of my life. The majority of my life, and
I know you.
I'm gonna tell you right now, like dealing with Ken in my process, he was fascinated with me because I bought my first, not the stunner shit. I bought my first was 22. So when it came to me ready, like yo, can I ready to sell this? He's like, bro, you so far ahead of the game. This shit gonna be so easy to get off your fucking hands.
Ego stroke.
I'm saying what he told me. And then he was just like, hey, I need a copy of this. He sent me that at 10 o'clock, at 10:30. I got him. He's like, man, motherfuckers don't do what you do. Like, I'm trying to, and 9 o'clock at night, while I'm trying to wind down, he's calling me at 8, we gotta do shit tomorrow. So at 9 o'clock at night, he should be taking, I know we already fed his kid, but he's thinking about me. Getting my shit, because tomorrow's what we gotta do. So I never wanted to make him one, he never made me one. And like I said, when I got my keys that day, bro, I swear, and mind you, I got my keys, I didn't even want to close the deal yet. My real estate gave me the keys, and Ken already was like, yo, we know you good. He had worked out so much to the point, I even went to the lender, I didn't sign shit, and I had keys to his crib. And he worked it out to where I didn't close, so I closed on like the 15th, which means my first payment wasn't due to the first of the following month. So I told, tell him about the pool. Tell him about the pool. Tell him you need to fucking flip the 5D. Yeah. I lost $30. I said, you wasn't there. That was another thing. I was so eager to get to my next crib. I was like, Ken, I'll sell this one for this amount. He was like, no, we're going to wait 2 weeks, and I promise you I'll get you $25,000 extra. And the man got me $28,000 extra by the time I closed. For waiting for 2 goddamn weeks.
That's how he got the front flip.
That's money.
Okay, I want y'all to know, you hear that? Like, he's not only working for a check, he honestly works for you. He's honestly working for the integrity of his business, which in turn should make you a better person too. So this is my man, my brother, and this is my man, my brother.
My brother.
They met. I want you to think. What I'm saying is like, the proof is in the punch. Don't wait till next year if you got a 400 credit score. This guy here can work miracles. And he still owe me $20, but he worked miracles. He hasn't given me that $20 for the work of miracles.
I don't know why we take
Get everything you can and start now.
Forget about it. New York had on. Forget about it.
Nah, but like, I need people in the Columbia area just to understand, like, just because you don't know, this is what this podcast is about. We just want to put you in place of those who are just like you, but at the same time, they just made certain sacrifices. They did certain things. Nah, I got that. Hey, Metro, get you a house. Get in contact with Kinsley. Get in contact with Kinsley Mickle.
EXP Realtor, right? EXP Realtor.
He's the man.
My website is www.clubbyhouse.com.
He plugging?
He plugging. That's what I want to do. Appreciate y'all tuning in, man.
We are about to wrap up this live, but I'm thankful for everyone who came on. Sometimes we're going to talk all music. They got me doing glasses. I'm trying to talk. Sometimes we're going to come on and we're going to talk music. Like on February the 15th, before we do the verses, they going to sit up there and look like that. I'm going to fix this. Check me out. February the 15th, we're gonna go live about the verses because it excites me to talk about music, and we're gonna talk about how Anthony Hamilton, although I love music, Soul Child, is going to rock the soul that night.
Who you got? Give us the next top 3 R&B verses we need to have. That's what we need to
So
have.
on February 15th, we're gonna go live, and we're gonna talk about the top 3 next R&B verses that they need to have. We're gonna talk about, has R&B changed? I know it has, because Midnight Love had me thinking that love was gonna be a certain way, and that shit ain't been nothing like it. Anyway, we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk R&B, we're gonna talk music, we're gonna have a better time. But we do want you all to know that we're not always gonna come out here and just talk music and crap everybody. We're gonna talk real life. We're gonna talk politics, we're gonna talk money, we're gonna talk everything. So right now, I'm enjoying these clowns in the fun. Enjoy my city, right?
Appreciate y'all.
He told me how to go to high school. This is my damn deck. Hey,
I'm gonna get this
brother,
out.
you gotta get
I'm
your
gonna let
own.
y'all go.
Nah, brother, you gotta get your own.
No, my brother.
Kirk, you need a hoodie? There's a comment about a hoodie.